What's up, homies? I'm Daniel Rumbles,
And I'm S.A.G.A Emcee.
and this is the show no one asked for, Ep.4. Welcome, everybody. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. How you doing, Saga?
I'm good. So what we were just kind of talking about.
Yeah,
Well, look, okay. I asked the question, do you
yeah,
believe in aliens?
yeah.
But your facial expression was like letting me on to believe that you didn't believe in them.
That I didn't
So
believe?
yeah. So I was like, wait,
You
is
watch your
yours a
mouth.
hard, is yours like a hard no? I didn't really get the facial expression to my question. So
Right.
you believe in aliens then?
I don't know if it's like a belief. Aliens are a thing.
Like what kind of a thing? Like I don't get what that means. Like, are
Like,
they like
like I just think it's a mathematical improbability, almost an
Mhm.
impossibility that they don't exist. I just think it's not. And then a lot of evidence, sightings, all this other stuff, and
Right.
interactions. But even if you take that out of it, even if you take the sightings out of it, you're like, oh, I don't believe any of those. I don't, whatever the heck.
Mm.
I just I don't think, again, mathematically, it just doesn't even make sense that we're the only one. And if that's true, right? If it's
Right.
true that we are the only ones that exist and have life on in the universe, right? If that's true, then I would say that that's kind of an argument towards their kind of being a higher power. We like us
Right.
being ordained by something, even if that higher power is aliens that they're using us to study us or something. But it seems like
Right.
something, if we're the only ones that exist in this vast infinite universe, then I feel like whatever higher power was, or intelligent design, or whatever the heck you want to call it, I think like
Mm.
it's obviously for us, even if it is natural. So even if you take out the higher power of it, right? Even if you say, well,
Mhm.
no, there's no, I just still don't believe in a higher power, even though it's just for us. Yeah, but then that means that nature decided that by coincidence that this universe is just for us. So essentially it is just for us. So either it is just for us, or you must you must believe or know in your mind that aliens are a real thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Well, yeah, like so imagine that what if this is all, you know, what if there isn't a big galaxy out there? Like yes, obviously there's, the science to prove this, that, and the other thing, right? But that's
mm,
just all stuff that we've read about. Like you're not an astrophysicist or you're not fucking, going up into space. I know, sorry to burst your bubble, but no, no, but like all these things that we were told, like, oh, we're part of the Milky Way galaxy. And then outside of that, there's this, there's that, that's all shit that we, the common folk, can't prove, right? Like we hope we're not being lied to, right? Correct,
yeah,
right? We just chalk it up for like, okay, it makes sense.
you could get a
And
telescope.
for sure, yes. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Like you can use a telescope and you can't see certain things, right? So we know that there are those stars, there are those stars, and there's this and that, right? But
Right.
beyond that, because obviously we are one galaxy in and once like Men in Black was a great, like the ending of Men in Black. I love
Oh
that ending
yeah,
where it just
the
it
music video.
zooms out. Well, at the end, yeah, and then it zooms out, and they're just like we're just like not the no, not the music video. The music video was cool too, but
Yeah. Yeah,
but what I'm saying is like at the end where we see that
yeah, the aliens
some
playing with a
aliens are
yeah,
right. They're
with a
just
bunch
fucking
of
playing with, yeah,
universes.
right.
Mm.
Um, what I'm saying, which now I don't even know anymore, is what, oh, that's what I was gonna say. What if this was all like a charade and there is only one? So this kind of, I guess, goes into your point of maybe we're just the only ones, and if we are the only ones, then that kind of proves more of a higher being that's created us to just examine or study and being like, oh, this, like when we were kids, I mean, I was into like finding like I wasn't scared of bugs or anything like that, you know, but it like it was cool to see ants like work and do their little thing, and then I would take like a scoop of them and put them in like a jar and just like watch them like fucking panic, you know,
Did did you
and
did
then
you did,
establish.
did you ever have an ant farm or no?
So I never had an ant farm like the ones you would buy, but I
Yeah.
would like kind of make my own. Like I would just have a bunch of soil and just punch a whole bunch of ants, and I would just start seeing them like,
So
you
just
know, I
garbage.
basically
You collect garbage. You
right,
collect
like I
dirt
would
and garbage.
I uprooted their whole life, and then they were just like, well, fuck, here we are in this fucking jar. Might
Yeah.
as well start living, you know. But
Dude,
like spiders, I would collect.
there is this one channel on YouTube that you should freaking watch, especially after what you're just saying. It's called Ants Canada.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's so dope.
that
It's
was
so
nuts.
dope.
Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to Ants
right,
Canada. That dude does awesome freaking videos, and
right.
he does these whole like terrariums and like
Intricate.
aquariums, and lets people, like, not people, lets insects and creatures kind of just like
Right.
live, and lets the ecosystem kind of play out on its
Yeah.
own. It's really dope. It's really dope.
So the so yeah, so like the crazy part about that is that like I would be fearful that because in some of the episodes they've gotten out, you know. So
Yeah,
I
they
would be
have.
like,
Yeah,
dude, fucking yeah, ants in your house is like some shit that I never really want, especially to that magnitude, right?
but that fool
But
lives in like Southeast Asia, where like bugs are gonna get in either way. You know what I mean?
I mean, they're gonna get in anywhere, you know, any place.
I mean, not compared to Australia or like Thailand. You know what I mean? Like,
For sure, yeah,
we,
that yeah.
don't let your privilege kick in, bro.
Oh no, I've been to fucking like third world countries, you know. I've been to the motherland of El Salvador and Dominican, and
No,
I know fucking giant like 6 inch scorpions on the back of the fucking frame, just like hanging out.
just hanging
Like the
out.
frame's all like lopsided. You're like, why? Let me
And,
fix it. And it's like the
yeah,
fool's like
and
that is behind it.
all I'm saying is that should make you have appreciation for our great nation. You know, like we don't have freaking
I'm
plate
I'm
size plate size spiders like crawling up your back. You know what I mean?
right. Yeah. I'm glad I don't live in the rainforest. Yes.
Yeah, true. Enjoy
But
it.
besides that,
Yeah,
what I'm saying is like the whole we are like these gods to these ants. You know what I'm saying?
right,
I didn't
right,
hear what
right.
you said, but I'm gonna skip over it
Yeah.
because I don't care. So, but what I'm saying is like, what if that is how it is for us? There's this one master being or alien or whatever, and it's just like, hey, these fools are just in this container, you know, and they're
Yeah.
none the wiser that this is the shit, you know, this is the norm. Um, but yeah, like I do believe. So here's my take on aliens. I don't not believe in them, but I also don't need to see them to believe in them or to disprove it, if that makes sense. Like if you're
No.
like, hey, aliens are real, I'd be like, well, I haven't seen one. So I'm not saying they are real, and I'm not saying they're not real, but I don't need to see one to confirm it. Like either way.
Yeah, so you believe it. So then you believe in aliens.
I mean, I'm saying I don't need to see one for it to be like, oh shit, they're fucking right.
Yeah, but that still begs the question, right? So that even if we grant what you just said, that still doesn't answer the question, do you believe in aliens?
I don't know what I believe.
Yeah, I you're a coward, bro.
I'm a coward because I don't know if I believe in aliens or not. That's like the dumbest place to put that word.
Oh my god.
Coward,
You coward.
coward, you don't want to confirm or deny that you believe.
Have some courage. Oh my goodness, dude. That freaking
So
that had me choking.
I'm leaning more towards yeah, like in if you use logic, like there's all these planets, all this different things, right? There has to be
Right.
something out there, right? Um, but again, like I'm in that boat where I'm like I don't need to see it to believe it. There is a part
Okay.
of me that's curious, you know,
Okay.
like I'm the type that it's like, hey, maybe that you shouldn't go out there and venture off into the dark over there. And I'm like, I heard a noise though, kind of curious to see what it was, You know, I'm like that fool, but like not always. Like I'm not trying to die. You know, I'm not gonna be one of those.
Yeah.
Billy, where's Billy? Billy said he was over here, and like I'm like, dude, Billy fucking left. He's probably dead because he probably shouldn't have gone that way. You know
Well,
what I'm saying? But
if you're armed, a lot of that doesn't
right,
even matter. Which is why it
right,
pisses me off when I watch these like ghost hunting YouTubes and stuff. They're entertaining, but like I don't really believe in ghosts. And even if I did believe in ghosts, they do nothing. They make sounds. Like sounds are not scary, dude. Tap knocking on wood is not freaking scary. So and if you're armed to the teeth, like what ghost is gonna come at you? You know what I mean? Come at me, sir. Come at me, sir. See what happens. That's what I'm saying. It's like these ghost hunters, and even if you don't believe or do believe in ghosts, these ghost hunters go to these wilderness areas or these abandoned like buildings, and they go unarmed. They go just with a camera. And it's
right,
like, dude, it's not about being a tough guy or anything. It's just common sense. You're in the
right,
middle of nowhere. You could encounter a bear or some sort of like pack of
right.
wolves or a strange weirdo that just camps out in the middle of nowhere. Like you want to be armed. It has nothing to do with like, do you know what I mean? Like trying to be cool or anything like
Right.
that is just common sense. You're in the middle of nowhere, and these guys are always unarmed. They're always unarmed. It's so weird. But what I'm saying is, if I'm in the woods with you, let's say we're in the woods and we're camping or some shit, and we hear some shit,
Right.
some and it's not even like an animal noise. It's like we hear like beep, 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 like some alien shit. Like if we're armed, we're kind of less scared, right? We're like, okay, well, at least we're armed. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like at least we're
For sure.
armed. And if we even lose that battle, at least we're happy that we win out. Like this is the best we could do, and that's okay with me. You know what I mean? As long as we're doing the best we could do, which is being armed.
You're
Like we
so
don't have superpowers, so the best we could do is being armed, and like that's
so
okay. We either live or die by
your
that.
last thought
Hmm.
your last thoughts are like, man, we gave it a good college try. Like is that like
Yeah.
that's what you're thinking? Hey man, good job, man. Thanks for having my bag out there.
No,
Like
my thing is this. My thing is this. It's if we both sign up for like let's say even in this podcast, let's say we start doing like ghost hunting shit. People just want to see us ghost hunting and they want to see the dynamic of us just like ghost hunting, like what that would be, right? I'd be
right.
armed and you wouldn't. And then that would be stupid because then we go into some abandoned hospital. You get attacked by a zombie homeless dude and you get bit and then you become your own like zombie homeless. But I'm just like, I'm trying to save us, da 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 da, like, and it's like, okay, great. You were unarmed. Awesome. Awesome, Saga.
No.
Thank you.
But
Thanks
that's
for
the
your
thing.
help,
I'm
dude.
not saying I agree. I agree
Mm,
that we should be armed for sure.
yeah.
Like I'm even if I hear a noise outside my house, like I get fucking my switchblade or fucking,
Yeah.
a bat or something, like if it
Yeah.
obviously if it's just like a cat, I'm not gonna go out there. But like recently, which was a trip, it was like a couple nights ago, and maybe you heard this, I don't know, but um I was like talking to my wife and then we were just sitting there and then we just hear like boom, right? And
Mm,
I was like, what the fuck is that? And I have a cat, right? So I was like, fuck, like my cat knocked over my speaker or something.
uh,
And I go and
uh,
check and he's all like fluffy, right? So he's like on edge, like, what the fuck was that?
mm,
So then I'm like, oh shit, it wasn't him. So I go outside, right? My dog's like dead asleep in the laundry room, so I don't even bother fucking waking her ass up.
what a
Pointless blue
waste.
nose pit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I go out and I have my like fucking like this, this blade that I have, and I'm looking, I'm like nothing's knocked over. Everything looks fine. And I'm just like, fuck, like that's just so odd, like I can't pinpoint where this sound came from.
Yeah,
And
that
then I
is
start
weird.
looking on the ring and then everyone's saying, did you hear that boom? Did you hear this? But the crazy part was it's people were saying it and they were like miles away from me, like
Oh,
where their little radius is on the map. Right. And they're saying, yeah,
yeah.
we felt it. We heard it. And I'm like, how is this true that you heard it and felt it? And I heard it and felt it. Right. But it wasn't an earthquake. You get what I'm saying? Like it was like
Yeah.
something that happened, but we're so far away that it's like we shouldn't have felt it the same way.
Aliens. Aliens. I knew
Uh,
it. Proof. Proof.
yeah, I don't like that proof.
Yes. Uh,
So, well, here's the thing. So you, it's weird because you're like aliens exist. So would you be scared of an alien,
I
or would you?
probably and you. You have and I have probably already encountered aliens.
Well, here's my point, or here's my question, and then this is the point of this question: the fact that you're saying ghosts, you don't give a shit about ghosts, right?
Yeah,
They do
I don't.
nothing, they make noises, blah blah. But
Yeah,
so
I don't fear them.
are you concerned with an alien though?
Yeah, so here's yes, and
Right,
I'll tell you why. Because I don't think, again, like when you look at the ants, like you were saying, like we're the gods of these ants, right? When I
right,
think about a ghost or something, even of what the ghost could be, even if I grant what a ghost is or what a ghost can be, right? I'm a
right,
higher being than a ghost. At least in this reality, at least in my
right,
reality that I live in,
right,
I am the more dominant being and species of this reality other than a ghost. So even if we
right.
go the science fiction route and we go, well, ghosts aren't really ghosts, they're people in another dimension, and it kind of crosses dimensions, and then that's where you kind of get these like images or something like that. It's like split multiverse, whatever, and then they're kind of communicating with each other or something like that. I don't freaking know. But even if we grant that, right, the science fiction of it, where people try to explain it with like with a scientific flavor to it, okay, let's grant that. But still, my statement holds true. Within this reality, I am the dominant species. I can feel and touch and exist and interact with this world as this ghost being or this ghost species can't. It struggles. It struggles to touch. It struggles to do things. It struggles to even exist within my reality where I'm really okay. So I don't see it as a threat, and I never have. Even since I was a kid, I was like, dude, like ghosts, like get the hell out. You know what? Like we were raised by the Ghostbusters. We don't fear the ghosts. You know what I mean? We fear no ghosts here. We fear no
But
ghosts. And so
okay,
and yeah,
well, here's the thing. So you're gonna tell me if there's like you're sitting like right now, you're in your room and fucking all of those frames get knocked off the wall, right?
yeah.
And you hear fucking rattling throughout your house and like the toilet flush and shit happening. You're not gonna be a little concerned. You're just gonna be like, oh, it's just a ghost. It's cool.
I'm gonna
Fuck
be
you,
angry.
ghost.
I'm
You're
gonna
gonna
be
be
angry.
angry.
And the ghost wants to knock frames off of my wall, dude. I'll put a hole through my wall. Like you know what I mean? Like you want to play the game of who can destroy this more? What you want to play that game? Like, dude, I'll run through my wall. You know, I'll break the toilet and then toss it at my TV. It's like, what are you know what I mean? You want to like flush my toilet? You want to flush my toilet and scare me? What about this? Tear off the toilet, throw it through the TV. You know what I mean? Like, there, who's a better ghost now? I'm a better ghost
Well,
than whatever ghost is ghosting my house. Get out of my face. You know what I
I
mean?
I think the ghost then would have you arrested because now you're just crazy.
Ghosts don't do nothing, dude. They do nothing. They're not scary. They're not scary. I remember when I was a kid, you know, like I have a younger brother, right? And
Right.
I think my parents were out late or something. It was they weren't, or they were dead asleep. No, they weren't there. They weren't there. Anyways, my brother wakes me up, right? And it's true. We, like you said, we hear these sounds, right? And this
Right.
is when I was a kid, when I still hadn't developed my way of thinking about ghosts yet, you know. But I
Right.
had seen the Ghostbusters, and I was a huge fan of the Ghostbusters. Huge fan of the Ghostbusters, like die hard. I
Right.
love the Ghost. Still, I love the Ghostbusters still. And
That's a good
so
movie.
yeah, they're amazing. And yeah, so my brother wakes me up and he's like, Daniel wakes me up. I'm like, what the hell? He's like, what's going on? He's like, dude, there's someone in the kitchen. There's someone in the kitchen. And I'm like, no, there's no one in the kitchen. What are you talking about? And then I hear someone in the kitchen. I hear like movement in the kitchen. And I was like,
Right.
oh shit. He's like, yeah, you hear that? And I was like, I did hear that. But you know, we're trained to get our weapons and then, you know, survey the area. So like, oh, if that's happening, get your weapons, like get something to protect
Right.
yourself with. And then that's the first, like, first you got to go down the list. Like, oh, maybe there's a threat here. Maybe there's not, but maybe there's a threat. What do we do, kids? Grab something that defend yourself. Okay, cool.
Right.
We go in our closet, we get our stuff, we start creeping down the stairway, right? And then we stop because we hear it again. We hear like the dishes kind of moving in the sink, you know? And we're like, oh shoot, dude. And then we look at each other and I'm looking at him. And then the thing is, I'm terrified, but I'm his older brother. So I can't show like that I'm scared, because I know that if I show that I'm scared, he's gonna start freaking out. So I'm like, dude, it's fine. It's fine. Like, it's fine. He's like, no, there's someone there. And I was like, I know. And they're about to get it, dude. They're about to fucking get it, you know? And so I'm like, in my
Right.
courage, I'm like, dude, like, I'm going to try my hardest to just attack whatever thing. This is what I told my brother. I was like, I'm gonna rush whatever's in the kitchen. I'm gonna rush it, dude. And you're gonna run out the front door, and you need to get help. But I'm just gonna rush and fight as hard as I can. That's the plan. And you need to get out the front door. You're the baby. You need to get out. And he's like, okay, that's the plan, right?
Right.
So then we hear some shit in the kitchen again, and I just start like I creep down the stairs, and then I start rushing to the kitchen, and I'm screaming like, ah, you know, like we're gonna get it, you know. And then I get to the kitchen, and I'm there, you know, and there's nothing. There's no sound, nothing. There's nobody there. So I'm like confused, like, what the hell?
Right.
And I'm paused, and I'm like, what the hell? Like, what's going on? There was a stack of dishes, and as I'm there, as I'm sitting, the dishes move again, and they like fall again. And then I was like, oh shoot, oh whoa. And then I realized that it was just a big pile of dishes that just kept like collapsing on each other, you know what I mean? And so then I told my brother, I was like, it's
Right.
okay. But he was already like halfway out the door, like gone, you know what I mean? And I was like, no, it's fine, we're
Yeah.
okay. But from that moment on, I think from that moment on, where I told myself I could fake it till I make it, and I could like
Mhm.
mentally tell myself, whatever happens here, at least I'll be happy that I rushed it, and I my brother's safe. And so then after that, I was like, dude, even if it was a ghost, what was it gonna do? Move more dishes? It was gonna move more dishes? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
okay, even if we granted that it was a ghost, it moved dishes. It moved dishes. And I'm sorry, I don't know about you, but moving dishes doesn't scare me, dude. It doesn't scare me. You know what I mean? I'm more
what if they
scary
move
than
them really fast?
whatever thing is gonna knock some hair, like some frames off my wall. I'm scarier than that. And so I know that for a fact. I'm a more dominant being than a ghost. Whereas the alien
Right.
I'm not saying for sure does, because I don't know yet, but it does. We don't know if it may pose a higher threat as the species within this reality, within my reality. It might have
Right.
more capabilities than I do, so I have to be concerned. Similar, if I come across a bear in the woods, it's going to have more capabilities. So it has nothing to do with like fear or anything like that. It's just more like, hey, this is just the risk and safety assessment that I have to take here, you know. And I think with ghosts, there is no freaking safety or concern that I have to have for ghosts. They're lesser beings, you know what I mean?
But well, here's the thing. Like you're just saying that it's just moving stuff, right? Or that was what I had said. But what if it's able to hold you down or fucking levitate your ass? Like, does that not
Well,
now change the perception?
so now you're moving the goalposts, right? But even if we're, you know, yeah, okay, we'll follow the hypothetical,
Right.
right? Um,
Right.
I I I I am ordained by a higher power. There is no ghost that's gonna come and do anything. It's just not. It's not ordained by this higher power. It has no power here in our reality. Even if it just, I wouldn't.
Right.
I think, and I think that if we are to grant this like hocus pocus superstitious like ghost stuff, right? Like, I think a lot of it has to do, a lot of its power has to do in how much you do fear it. And I don't fear it. Like, I just don't. I have zero fear. Like, zero. I have no fear towards ghosts, dude. Have you seen that one ghost hunter who like goes? It's probably fake. It's like it is fake. It's fake for sure. Not probably fake. It is fake. But he's like this ghost hunter, and he'll be in these abandoned areas, and then like the ghost like And
Right.
it looks like the ghosts from these. It's not like a fake, like just a blanket and like holes. You know what I mean? It looks like these ghosts that you see in these
Right.
other videos, right? So it'll be like that dark, like
Right.
little face, goblin face, and he just jumps and like attacks it, or he'll jump and kick it and all this shit. And it's like, oh hey, this is my kind of ghost hunter here. You know what I mean? Like rush towards it, rush towards it. Don't rush away from it.
Right.
And then the other thing that I don't understand is, like, if me and you agree right now, we're like, hey, we're gonna be ghost hunters. That's where the whole point is, that we're looking for ghosts. So if me and you sign up like, hey, we're gonna go ghost hunting, and then the first sign of a ghost, you run away, dude, I'm running towards with the camera. I'm running towards it, because that's why we came. We came to
Right. Right.
interact and see with this ghost. Now we see this ghost and you're running away. Then why did you come in the first place, sir? Why did you even come? Like, you should have
Right.
just never have come if you were gonna run away from a ghost. You know what I mean?
Right. But I mean, there's those where you're like, in hindsight, you're like, oh, this probably wasn't the best idea. You know, I'm not saying like for me, I'm running away.
Mhm.
I would have to survey the situation, right?
Of course.
If the thing is fucking throwing boulders or fucking bricks at us, I'm gonna
Yeah.
be like, huh, this is not your typical fucking Casper the Friendly Ghost shit. Like, you know, like
I'm still
it's a
rushing
full.
towards. Yeah. You're like, Daniel, the building's coming down. You're like, that's a ghost. I fear no
Yeah,
ghost.
no, no. So
No.
I can understand what you're saying with the in the physical realm of things, the ghost has already moved past that, right? So it can only do so much, right? It's more
Yeah.
of a scaring you out of your comfort zone, right?
Right.
Um, unless it's doing those things where it's throwing fucking rocks and bricks and carving shit into your body, right, as you sleep. Um, but yeah, so I guess in if you're gonna just if that's where we're putting it, right? Then I think I would still feel some type of way though. I don't think it'd be like, oh, it's just a ghost. Like I'm cool. Like I think I'd be like, dude, what the fuck is happening right now? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you seem like you're super calm. Like, oh, that's just the ghost. No, woo. Like I'm not scared. Like I'd be like, dude, the plants, the fucking frames are moving across the room, bro. Like that's not normal.
That's not normal, dog.
Like,
That's not no, dog. I'm like, dude, that's just the ghost, dude. Trying to like, you're sitting there
at
watching TV,
at the
like all
bare
my shit's
minimum,
floating.
yeah, at the bare minimum, the dude is rearranging your fucking furniture, bro. Like that's not cool.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you right here. So, like, from my room, you can open the door, and then I can see my daughter's room, right? Like, I can see
Right,
across the living room from inside my room to directly seeing my daughter's doors, right?
right, right,
Or door. Anyways, I was doing the laundry, right? I was doing the laundry, and I was like folding laundry on my bed, and I had my door open, like, and so I could look down on the left and I could see through my living room, and I could see the bathroom and the girls' room and stuff. And I had just come, before I started doing the laundry, I had just come out of the girls' room. I had just got some clothes out of the girls' room to do laundry. Anyways, now I'm folding it and stuff. And when I'm looking, I hear a noise, and I hear the
right.
door like open slowly, like, and I look, and I'm like, and I look to my left, and I'm like, no, I for sure closed that. And I remember like closing it and hearing the click and closing it, right?
Right.
And I was like, dude, that's odd. And so, anyways, I go to it and I close it, and I close it again, and I hear it click, and I hear it click. I like feel it, and I was like, okay, all right, yeah. And then I go back to folding the clothes, and I was just like, okay, whatever. Like, it just forgot about it, right? Like 5-10 minutes later, it freaking opens again, and it's going slow like that too, like.
Yeah.
So then, the I go, I just take a deep breath. Now I'm angry, right? I have bills, I have work. I'm folding laundry. I don't want to do laundry, dude. I'm doing laundry. I'm in a bad mood here. You want to show up right now? This is when you want to show up? Bad day for you, dude. Bad day for you to show up here in my house today. It was a mistake. So I grab my shit. I I fly through the living room and slam open the door. Boom! Slam open my daughter's door. What the hell is in here? What keeps opening the door? God damn it. And I'm looking and it's nothing. And I'm just like looking like, dude, what the hell, dude? And I'm looking around like someone's freaking opening the door. And I'm so mad, right? And then I look, and then in the crack, like was like some like fluffy toy, like little one. It's not like a stuffed animal, but like a
Right.
little stuffed animal that's like literally like this big, but it's like a stuffed animal, you know? And it was stuck
Mm.
in the crack of the door. So every time you close it, it would like push it out, you know? And I looked at it and I was like, once again, afraid of no ghosts. I was right again. Again, I was correct. Freaking
No,
toss that thing and then, chalk that up to the flag. You know what I mean?
no,
USA. We win
that's
again.
the ghost. No, that's the ghost allowing you to have that little victory.
Oh, yeah? That's
Yeah. It was like, dude, watch me work this fool. I'm gonna get him
Yeah.
so upset, and he's gonna come and ooh, he's gonna get me.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
fucking Ghostbuster. That's what he said. Fucking come get me. Come at me,
Yeah.
bro. You came through there, and he was just like, oh damn, this fool. Ooh, he's serious now. And then
Yeah.
you found your little squeaky toy or whatever, and then he's like, dude, I'll give you a pass today. Today. That's what he told you. You don't know
Yeah,
that,
but
but he
but the
told
thing
you.
is the thing is I'm armed in several ways, right? So like it's like
Right.
I'm armed physically, that's fine, but I
Yeah.
also have even if we are to grant that, like, okay, ghosts exist and they're like these supernatural beings, okay, but then
Right.
there's other connotations then too. Then that means these then we can maybe do supernatural things to it, right? And so, and I don't know if it's true or not, but if we're gonna play
Right.
that
Right.
game, like, I'm armed with holy water. I have a squirt gun that has holy water in it. So like, let's go, dude.
But that's if those are the rules.
You
That's
know,
if those apply though. You know,
we're
like
trying
you
everything here, dude. We're
okay.
throwing the kitchen sink at this, you know? Dude, I
Yeah.
even have, I even still have, even if all else fails, which I know this won't fail, but even if all else fails, I have a fail
Right.
safe, a contingent plan, a contingency plan, and I still have my Ghostbusters pack.
I just can't. Yeah. No. As
Oh.
as the officers come in for the noise complaint, he's armed. Yeah. We
Yeah,
got him. Call for
yeah.
backup. We got him. No. And then the
Damn,
ghost
that'd be
is just
sick.
still there watching you. Just watching you.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean clearly your point is to rage and rush. But that's the thing. Like what do you can't harm it necessarily. Like yes, you have your proton pack. Okay. But outside of that, there's nothing that you're gonna do to it.
Yeah, but
Like
see. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. Follow me here. Follow the logic here, right?
okay.
You just headcanoned everything. Everything you just told me, you just headcanoned. So you just fucking made it up, dude. You just fucking made it up right now. You just pulled it out of your ass. And so what I'm saying, my thing is, if that's the case, then why can't I just headcanon victory? I can.
No,
I can, and I have.
you
My
can't.
whole life I have. Anytime there's been some sort of like ghost, or maybe that's a ghost or whatever, I headcanon first off that it's not even that. And then I headcanon that even if it was
Right.
that, it would lose to me 1,000 times. It would lose to me. There's not one time that type of being would defeat me. There's just no way. Not in my realm. This is my realm. Like this is my physical reality. There's just no way. Even if we grant it, even if we grant it. And again, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, the same logical, like, oh, what if it does this? There's no logic to it. So then I can just say, well, what if I beat it? What if I beat its ass? Like, okay, like it's the same. My same evidence for that I can beat its ass is the same evidence you have that I can't beat its ass. It's literally the same evidence. So why don't I just choose the one where I win? You know what I mean?
Because that's dumb. That's why.
That's dumb, right? Right. Right. It's just I'm not infected by loser woke liberal mindset. And
Oh
I'm just
my
kidding.
God. It's like anytime you can interject that, like that's what
Yeah.
it's I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. I'm not I would be more I think it's just the fact that like it's the unknown, right? Like you don't know what it's capable of. Like if it's an alien, I think I'd be less scared because at least there's a physical element to it. Like I see it and therefore I know it has to bleed. There's something that has to happen with it physically.
Yeah, but that's not necessarily true, dude. You can shoot bullets at a bear skull and they bounce off, bro. They bounce off. Like you can shoot it with a freaking
Right, but
shotgun. The pellets will bounce off its face. You know what I mean?
no,
Like,
but it's possible to kill it though. It's not impossible to kill a bear.
oh, right. And I definitely think
Right,
that, if the aliens want the smoke, like the flag has plenty of
right,
options. We will win. But what I'm saying is in an individual interaction, if I come across a gang of dudes, just humans, that's that's
right.
that's that like, oh shoot, this is we're about to get it down. Like this is the business. Like anything can happen.
Right.
These fools, if they're armed, if I'm armed, whatever. Now you add alien to it. Do you see what I mean? Now you add alien
Okay.
to it. Now that's a different. Now if I'm scared of men that can be around, like a group of 14 dudes that I come across in an alley,
Right.
if that scares me, it doesn't make logical sense that if I come across aliens, I wouldn't also be concerned or scared or what the hell. You know what I mean?
No.
Like that doesn't make
And I'm not
sense. They're
saying
highly
I'm not
advanced.
saying I'm not going to be scared.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm not going to be scared, right?
Right.
But at
Right.
least I know what I'm looking is what I'm saying. Like it's like, oh shit, like this is, this creature or whatever, but at least I know that I physically see it. Right?
Okay, so this is kind of what I'm going to introduce is kind of a point that might, I don't know if it's for or against, but it kind of ties into both of our points and it might contradict both of our points. So what I was going to say
Okay.
is, what if that's what a ghost is? What if a ghost
So
is like aliens trying to communicate from another dimension, and then you're like, you know what I mean? I'm over here being like, that's nothing. Even, and then I'm over here saying also out of the other side of my mouth, I'm saying like, well, no, aliens, dude. You should be scared of aliens. And then you're the other way where you're like, dude, I'm not
so
scared of aliens, but ghosts? What the hell? But they're all
you know
aliens.
what's
Like they're
funny?
all just aliens trying to
The
communicate.
funniest thing is I was literally gonna say I know what can beat you,
Yeah.
and I was gonna say a fucking ghost alien. That's
Yeah,
what I was gonna say.
exactly. A ghost alien. Yeah.
That
Maybe,
would be it.
maybe,
But
maybe one of my ancestors killed a ghost alien and now they're back to hunt me down. You know what I mean? They're like,
exactly right.
that's that dude that just rushes
I
us.
mean,
Go get him.
see, like for me, like again, like I had said earlier, like I want to like finite like proof, right? Like I'm curious to see it happen, but I'm also like I don't want to though.
Mm.
Like I don't want to be one of those fools that's like, oh shit, they do exist, and now they're taking me away.
Right,
you
right,
know,
right, right, right.
right?
Yeah,
So to
it's
me,
like
it's
it's
like
like yeah. Now you live on like it's like, dang, aliens were real, but now you live like on a third moon of Jupiter or something. You know what I mean?
right.
Like, god dang
I'm
it,
just
now I
getting
can't see my.
tagged by them too. Like
Yeah, right,
I'm
right.
not down for that.
Yeah, dude,
So it's
that's
one of
crazy.
those like if someone says like, hey, I've seen some like there was a coworker that I had and they had said they had I forgot what he called them or what the term is or whatever, but it's like I guess it's shadow people. I think it's what it is. Shadow
Mm.
people, right? Is that a thing? Right?
Yeah,
Where it's
those are
like,
the black beings that you see in the room. Like they'll be in a
right,
room, like just like, you know, and it's just a silhouette of
right,
like a thing, and then they'll disappear. Or sometimes they'll be full
right,
fledged, like being, you know what I mean?
right. And so and he was like, hey, believe me or don't believe me, and he was like, I know what I've seen. Um, and he's like, I've seen them, and I'm like, and to me, it's like, I'm not gonna call you a liar because I haven't seen it. I don't
Hmm.
want to see it to believe that you're crazy or not crazy, hey, like to me, it's like if you said you saw something and you're adamant about it, like there's shit that we don't know about to where I'm like, well, hey man, like sucks for you that you experience these things. I don't need to experience to be like, oh yeah, that fool was a fucking liar. Like
Yeah.
I don't, or be like, damn, that fool was telling the truth. I'm cool. I'm cool where I'm at right now. Like you said you seen them. Hey man, that's enough for me to not want to see them. I'm okay. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Right,
You
right.
know?
That's what I agree with that.
Yeah.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. I can
Right.
you know, that whole like, you know, thing I had where I'm like, oh, okay, rush them, whatever, and I'm not scared. Yeah, fine, that's great. But I'm not trying to find out their capabilities
Right.
either. Like I ain't trying to
Right.
freaking like if we have to, if we can get, this is my house too. That's another thing, dude. This is
Right.
the United States of America, and like my house is my home. And so
Yeah.
like, dude, get the fuck out of my house. Like anything
Right.
that does not belong in my house, like
For sure.
you need to get out of my house.
Right.
And so it's I'm not gonna be like, whatever thing shows up, they should be scared, not I should be scared. That's not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be scared in my own house. I just refuse.
Right.
I'm just not gonna have that emotion in my house, like within the bounds of my home. I'm just not gonna have that ever. Nothing's
Right.
ever gonna make me feel that way. It's not gonna happen. I refuse. And so,
Right.
I don't know,
Well, I'm
but
like I'm not saying that I'm not going to protect whatever is in my house and my stuff, but it's one of those
right.
like I think for you, like you'd rush at it and and then you'd get dropped to the floor, and then I'm like, okay, don't do that move. Let's try a different angle of attack. Let's see what.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh shit, he came in peace, but then you ran full force yelling at it, and it decided to be like, whoa, bro, fucking chop your ass down. We're not doing that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
He's like, hey,
Yeah.
I come in peace. And I'm like, oh shit, okay. Yeah. You're just
No, no.
fucking severed in half.
Or I just get
Um,
possessed and then I start coming after you.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But so dude, there was this time, and I think I've told you this. I'm pretty sure I've mentioned it, but fuck it, we'll talk about it. Um,
Mm,
we were at Forest Lawn Cemetery. Amy would, go visit her grandparents and, family. Um, and it was kind of late already, and I was like if you really want to go, I'll drive you. It's cool. But it's already getting dark. It's
mm-hmm.
like it's not much light to where you're gonna be able to put flowers and actually see what we're doing.
Right.
But she's like, yeah, let's just go right now. I'm like, all right, cool. So we go. We have our son. I think he's maybe like 1 or 2 at this point. We only have
Okay.
one at this point. And so we go, and it's kind of like at a hill, right? So you're like
Yeah.
looking up, like you have to walk up, and then there's the site, right? So she's doing her thing and putting flowers and all that kind of stuff, and it's just starting to fade. Like I'm like, man, it's starting to get kind of dark here. So as I'm looking up, like you can tell where the mountain and the sky, like you can see the sky still, and you can see the mountain up, right? So then, within a couple minutes, or like not even that, like seconds, it's going to start like even getting darker, right? So I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, like, are you almost done? She's like, no, no, almost, almost. I'm like, all right, cool. And then I look up again, and now it's like I can barely make out that there is some light. I can't see the mountain anymore, but she's like with her, like, actually, she didn't even have her phone anymore. I can kind of see where I'm standing, but that's about it, right? I can't look that far away. But as I look up, I can see that there's some light to distinguish from the ground and the sky. And I see this fucking thing. Like it looked like it had like it was weird. So I chalked it. So logically, I chalked it up to it being like a fucking deer. Okay. Because it looked like it had fucking antlers, but it was
Mm-hmm.
like doing this like weird fucking like movement. And
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't like it was running across. It was literally going like this, right? In front, like, and I'm looking up, like, I'm like, what the fuck is that?
A
Right. And I'm like,
bush.
Amy, yeah. And I'm like, hey, we gotta go. Cause I can't see its body. I can just see where I guess its head would, because since I'm looking up at it, I can see like the top part of it
What
against
if
the
it's a
backdrop of the
bush?
sky. No, because there's no bushes where we are. There is,
Oh,
trust me, like there's one big tree
yeah,
and then there's nothing. And
yeah,
then as I'm looking up, I know there's nothing because I've been looking at this nothingness, right? And then all of a
right.
sudden when I look down, I look back, there's this thing fucking like huge. Like I can only see where the light is, but the mountain is, I'm like, dude, I don't know how big this thing is or whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
but it's something in front of me that it's not. And Amy's like, I don't know why, but she got like, I guess, entranced by it. And she's like, look, it's dancing. As soon as she said, yeah, right? Dude, as soon as she said, look, it's dancing, that was where I was like, logically, if this is, well, okay, so logically, if this is a deer, it's still a wild animal, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And,
yeah.
and it can fuck me up. If I can't even see where its body is, it can just
Right.
charge me and I'm fucked, right?
Yeah, you're screwed.
if it's if logic isn't if we're throwing logic out the window and it's a fucking creature or being of some other fucking whatever,
Yeah.
if 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 I'm seeing this, I'm like, I don't know how to fight it off, right? I have my 1 year old or 2 year old right with me, and
Or
my
parent.
wife is now saying, look at it, it's dancing. As soon as she said it was dancing, I'm like, my logical brain went like, oh shit, this might not be human, like this might not be a thing that we need to stay around for, right? To
Yeah,
interact. So I was like, Amy, we got to go. Like, it's time.
yeah,
Like, I had to go back down the hill. My car is there. I'm like, hey, let's go. And she's just like entranced by this fucking moving creature, right? And I'm like, I'm gone. I told her, I'm like, I'm out. Like, to me, my priority is my kid now.
yeah. Right, right.
Like, and my wife is, Amy's has told me if there's ever a zombie apocalypse, leave her. She's dead. She's like, I'm dead already. Take the boys. Save yourself. I'm like, cool. Like one less person I have to worry about. Awesome.
Yeah, but why
She's
not?
already
Why
like,
not? Why not go until you're sacrificed though, if that's the case? So
I
like if
think,
even if I felt that way, like about me and you,
right,
let's say we're hanging out and then like a zombie apocalypse happens and I think I'm useless, right? Even my uselessness has a use because like if I throw myself away now, then I save that one time where we may have needed a body to like throw in the way and
right,
and I, damn it, right when we needed someone to kill themselves and he was going to kill himself anyways, but he did it just because he just did it. Like, why not save
right,
yourself until the moment where, like, hey, this will get the optimal net value by you sacrificing yourself. So you still get to kill yourself. It's a win-win. You still get to kill
right.
yourself just later. Just hold on. Just wait until we really need to. And in your death, which you were gonna do anyways, it becomes useful and effective, and you save your family in the process, rather than just killing yourself because
True.
you think you're useless. I don't know. That just seems kind of like not
Well,
selfish,
here.
but it's kind of like in the you're only thinking about yourself in that sense. You're like, oh no, I don't want to deal with how hard that's gonna be. You deal with it. Like no, you deal with it until you have to not deal with it. Then how about you? We both get what we want, and you get to not deal with it. But I throw you in a crowd of zombies when I need you the most, and then me and the kids get to live. That way, you serve your
So
purpose as you know what I mean.
I agree. I
Mm-hmm.
can agree with that. But at the same
Yeah,
time, I can also find the other side of that where it's like, okay, in an ideal situation, if you're like, hey, I get it. Like, you're going to go anyway. Might as well, will be that, like, this is Sparta fucking moment and kick you into the zombie pit, right?
right.
But what if it's like, okay, hey, stay alive long as you can. You're with us, and like you trip over some shit and knock over something that makes loud noises, and now the zombies are like,
Yeah,
So
but
to
that's
me, I
always
feel
gonna
like
happen.
right. But if you're like
Yeah,
already saying like, yo, like I can't tiptoe, I can't be stealthy, hey man, I don't need that burden. Because here's the thing, they can be like, mom, like, no, like, hey, your mom is
But
gone, bro. Your mom's
but
fucking gone.
then again, that proves my point that I said earlier, that that is kind of self-centered thinking. It's like, man, no, I just can't. No, wait. And then you're
Right.
shaking them by the ears. Just be quiet to save our lives. You can kill yourself later. And they're like, no, I gotta do it now and make noise now. Like, all you gotta do is tiptoe. Can you do one thing for us and just tiptoe here? No, I can't. I can't. I don't know. I can't. And I don't really want to figure out how to tiptoe. I don't even want to do that. Just kill me right now. Like, I don't know. I understand the point, and I would
Right.
probably let that person kill themselves, but that doesn't exclude the fact that that is kind of in still in a way is still self-centered. It's still self-centered. Again, even if I grant that I'm totally useless, I would want
Right.
my uselessness to be a net value to my, not only my family, but whatever group I'm with. Even if I get stuck with you, I have no family. Let's say I'm just with you, we get separated, it's the apocalypse, and I'm with you. I'm not part of your
Right.
family. Maybe my family's gone, whatever. Like, and I'm depressed. I'm sad. I'm gonna kill myself at some point. I'm still gonna not I'm gonna have some sort of thought for the group and be like, hey, dude, like, I'm done, dude. Like, mentally, I want to go right now. I'm only going
Right.
because I know that I can jump on a grenade when I need to for your family at some point, and then you won't have to. Oh, but you're gonna have to tiptoe. Oh no. Oh no. Like, what entitlement is that? Like, oh, you have to try hard to tiptoe
No,
to save everyone's life. Boo hoo, what oppression. You know what I mean? Like, tiptoe, god damn it. Like, we're trying to live here. What do you mean? Like,
I
how is that
don't
a big ask? That's not a big ask to tiptoe in
I
the
don't feel like that though.
apocalypse, bro. To tiptoe in the
No,
apocalypse, can you please tiptoe in the apocalypse, is not a big ask. You know what I mean? Like, figure it out,
I don't
man.
see it like
Like,
that though.
huh?
I don't see it like that because to me it's the longer that person is around, if
Mhm.
they're eventually not going to make it, then it becomes a burden on those people who will have to carry that person. So like if she's like, "Yo, I'm done already." Boom, the faster you check out is the faster I can continue, moving forward to this direction. Like like if you're like at some point I'm going to be a liability, I'll try my hardest to tiptoe and all that other shit, but at some point I'm going to be taken. So to me, if you're like already making, like you already know that's going to happen. And I'm already knowing based off of like stamina or like, man, like you're going to have to run. We're going to have to fucking run. Like if you're like, dude, just run and don't even look back, it makes it easier because then I'm not like, but you can still kind of like move over, jump over that bridge, do this. I can't, come on. Like, like it puts more of a strain because I'm going to be wanting to help you along. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but and I agree, but then that would have to be discussed. It would have to be discussed. Like, hey,
Right.
dude, I'm extra weight here. Like, I'm so
Right.
in those situations, don't stop for me. Don't whatever for me. I'm gonna try my best to keep up. I'm already in a down slope. I'm gonna die. So, but that means just know that in your brain and don't stop for me every second or whatever. If you need to leave me
Right.
behind, just leave me behind. I'm gonna be left behind anyways. You know what I mean? And so I don't know. I just don't, and that kind of contradicts the point that you made earlier where it's like it's all about your kids, which I feel like that's what it should be for all parents. And so if that's the case, now I suck up my own flaws. I suck it up and you suck up your own flaws, and then you say, well, dang, I may not be the best option, but if Patrick dies, what do these kids got? So it's not even like it's like a it's a again, like if you gamble, if you do sports betting or gambling, play poker, whatever, like again, it's about gambling the best bet, the best option, the best solution.
Right.
And yes, maybe it's not a good solution to carry someone like that with you, but especially if you have kids, you need more adults because the adults are going to drop. You know what I mean? And so you need adults, whether they're shitty or not, and it sucks. But if they're shitty adults in this situation, that's just the next best thing, and they might last only 5-10 minutes after your death with this
Right.
other adult that is some. But at least at least you gave that a shot, rather than like, oh well, sorry kids, this adult just can't suck it up for us. They just cannot. It just, no, no, no,
Well,
don't
yeah.
bring it, no, no, stop. They need us. They need to suck it up. They can't for this situation. They just can't do it. And it's like, nah, dude. Like, and I guarantee you, you guys say that now, but it's a moment of privilege. I guarantee you, Amy would be fighting hard as shit, probably harder than you, to stay alive and to keep her kids alive. Like, there's no. She's just saying it because it feels icky to think about. Like, oh, icky, whatever. That she would go rage, rampage, and murder thousands of zombies. I guarantee you, if that happened. You know what I mean? Like, it says that
Uh,
now, but imagine something threatening her kids. Like, there's no way. There's no. That's not. Like, I don't
she'd be
know.
the first one bit.
Huh?
She'd be the first one bit.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
She'd be
Ah.
bit. Yeah.
No, dude, that's so I don't know. But yeah, so you believe in ghosts, you believe in aliens. What's the final verdict on that?
Well. So okay. So we got off on a exit, and then I
Yeah,
didn't finish that
the thought.
little piece, right? But
Okay,
so
sorry.
anyway, that thing happens.
Yeah.
She's entranced by it.
Oh, that's
She's
right. That's right.
fucking yeah. Um, I leave her. I'm like, I'm out. Like,
Yeah.
and that's another thing. Like that's kind of I think where it is. Like, she got stuck in a zone where it's like, dude, like I'm hypnotized by this whatever it is. That's kind of where her mindset is like, dude, protect the kid and bounce. I was not gonna fucking. I'm sorry. I'm like, I don't know what's happening to you right now. You're getting fucking like beamed up to the fucking heavens. I ran to the car only to find out that she had the fucking keys, right?
Oh my God. Stop, dude.
So I'm at the
You
door.
guys are
I'm like,
both
dude,
dying. You guys are all dead.
no,
You
dude.
guys are
So yeah, pretty much.
the two
I'm just
stooges
gonna
over
leave. I'm sorry. Sorry, kids. I gotta survive.
yeah,
I gotta start
exactly.
a new family. I can't.
Yeah.
I gotta
Sorry,
keep
guys.
the human race going.
Go back to mom, guys.
No,
I'm gonna
so
walk home.
so I get to the car and I'm like, Amy, the keys. And she's like, what? Throw me the keys. She threw me the keys. Just like the movie, it's all like, like it was like a bad throw. It was like, douche. I'm like, fuck. And in the whole time I'm carrying my kid, I'm like, man, this is how I go out. Like,
Yeah.
it sucks. Like, I was trying to be the hero, trying to do my work, my job, and I'm gonna die because the keys were poorly thrown. And I get in, and finally I get the keys. At this point, I'm like, it's kind of like a half-assed job that I'm trying to do to open the car because I'm like, dude, I'm already dead. Like I'm thinking like it's just gonna get me as I'm turning it, and I mean, oh fuck, I survived. Okay, so I'm in, and then like we're kind of like looking out, and I'm like, this is still not safe. Like 'cause now we're in pitch black
Yeah.
darkness, and I'm like, I can't do
Yeah.
shit. You know,
Yeah.
like this thing could ram the vehicle. So I'm like,
Yeah.
fuck this, we're out. And then we took off. But it was one of those like we both saw something. It wasn't like, you didn't see that? It was literally both of us saw the same shit. Like
Mm.
it looked like a fucking floating chandelier, like
Yeah.
upside down. Like it was just fucking
Yeah.
like this weird ass, like, yeah, there's no bushes, no, it wasn't a bird. Because the thing is, it wasn't moving like linear. It wasn't going like, oh, it was like this, like this. I just kind of float like in this zone in my fucking face. And I was like, dude, I'm not dying here. You
Wait,
know?
so then
But
even if we say like even if we say okay, I believe you, or let's say I believe your whole thing about ghosts, like I believe Patrick, I believe Saga now, and I'm like okay, ghosts exist, right? And so what's your take? Like, are they a so then are you religious, or do you think they're scientific in nature? Like what do you think, metaphysical in nature? Like what do you think is their like what do you think is their ontology, I guess? Like what is their like essence, you know what I mean? If that's the case, even if we
right.
are like okay, aliens exist, like what is it for you?
Or aliens. We're talking about aliens specifically.
No, I'm saying
Right.
ghosts, or whatever
Oh,
the
ghosts.
heck this thing was, you know what I mean?
Well, this thing seemed like a physical thing, right?
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
but if we're going with like the ghost route, I feel like because okay, so I believe in a higher power, right? I don't necessarily believe that God is a fucking bearded man, a white bearded white man, like I believe more in the concept of like a higher, like an energy or something, like something that there is, it's up there that it's kind of just hard to explain, and it's a weird, it might be a cop out, right? Because it's like, oh, but what do you believe in? Oh, I believe in this fucking ball of energy. Like, I hear how it sounds, right? Um, but like, I feel like whatever it is, I think it has like multiple forms. It could be you, it could be me, but it can constantly just kind of, if this created everything, let's say we're going that route, then it can be anything, like there is no finite, like it has to be this, in my opinion, right? So,
or just something beyond our comprehension. Like maybe we just don't even
right,
understand how it can exist. We don't know that yet,
right,
you know.
right. And so if I'm going to say that, then that ghosts exist, you know, then I think it's an extension of something that we don't know about, right? So I'm thinking if I'm going the energy route, then I'm thinking it has to do with some kind of something beyond matter, right? Beyond physical, or it could be what is it? I can't even say the word molecular. I can't even fucking
Mm.
say the word. But
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
we're all atoms, right? We're all built off of energy anyway. So for something to be energy based isn't far fetched to me.
Okay.
So if I think it's something that is like lost the physical form, but it's still within the realm of existence, right? It hasn't passed over into nothingness, but it isn't like I can see it. I understand that there's the presence. I can maybe feel the presence, but it's not something that I can actually hold onto or see, so to speak. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think like this take that I have on it is like kind of encompasses what you're saying and maybe a little bit about what I'm saying. And I'm not saying it's true or not, but it's just something that I'm thinking about when you're explaining your thing, right? And
Right.
so if we think about like uh we think about the reality in the terms of dimensions, right? Like one
Right.
dimension, two dimension, then the third dimension, and then the fourth dimension is supposed to be time, right? And then these others extensions, these other dimensions, right? And so
Right.
so just stay with me, okay? So we have like we have 2D, right? Like we're 3D, right? We're
Right.
we're we're flat, we're this way, and then we're this way, right? So we're three-dimensional and we exist in a three-dimensional plane. Our plane is three-dimensional, right? So like what if uh what if we have what you call it? Uh like here's you and then here's here's me. One second. Wait,
I feel
one
like this
second,
would
one
be
second.
something like stupid.
No, no,
You're just baiting me. It's gonna be like a
no, no,
giant
no,
dick or something.
no, 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 no. Um,
Be a middle finger. It's gonna be like, look at this. Fuck you. Yeah.
no, no, no.
Here's
So
your ghost.
no, so like here's you and me, right? Here's you and
Okay.
me. So
Okay.
this is me, and then
Oh,
this is
wow.
this is you, right? So
Why are
you see
you
here,
why are you so bloated?
I'm ripped. You're
You
you're
look
what they call,
swollen there.
yeah, that's how swollen is how betas explain alphas. No, just,
Right.
just they
Why
call
does
them
your head
swollen.
why does your head look like that?
Oh, I'm wearing my beanie.
Oh, oh, okay.
Yeah. But so
Right.
so
It
essentially,
looks like
if
you
we
have
look
like a
here, look,
giant hole in
yeah.
the top of your dome.
So here's your beard. There. So
That looks like the bootleg Iron fucking Mega Man. You look like a bootleg Mega Man.
yeah, you look
I
like
don't know what that is. That looks like
exactly
that
a
doesn't
freak.
even look human.
That looks like the thing. That looks like the thing you saw at Forest Lawn. Ooh, ooh.
uh, it's funny.
No, no. So stay with me here. So
Okay.
now what I'm saying is, like, you see me here. You see me. I'm I'm
Yeah, I
3D,
see you.
right? I'm 3D, right?
unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay, so stay with me here. If these 2D beings are versions of us, right? And they're 2D. Look, like
Right.
I'm touching it, right? And they
Right.
can't they don't understand, like they can't comprehend what's happening to their reality. Like maybe they
Right.
feel this as I'm touching and they're like, "What the hell, did you feel that?" But they can't,
Right.
they exist only on this, like on this flat piece of paper. They only exist here, so they can't even
Right.
comprehend. Like I can comprehend their reality and I'm like, oh dude, look, they're
Right.
2D, but they don't realize that they're 2D and I'm 3D. They can't even understand the concept of 3D. They can't even understand it, so
Right.
they're looking at us like, imagine this is both of us and we're like, dude, do you see that hand? Do you even see that? No, I kind of see it. I don't know, what is that? I feel our reality moving. And it's like, and I'm interacting with it, but I can't really interact with it because I can't be inside of the paper. But I'm a higher being, I'm in a higher dimensional state, right? So
Right.
now what if ghosts are in a higher dimensional state and they're interacting with us in our dimension and we can't comprehend it, and they're like, man, it's so easy, look, they can't get it, kind of like the concept like this. They're looking at 3D maybe because they're in 6D, right? And so then they're
Right.
looking at us in 3D and they're like, how come they can't feel this? How come I'm touching their frames right now? I'm touching their door. I'm touching their stuff. They can't feel it. I can't interact with them, and they can't
Right.
comprehend my existence. Like, what the heck? Do you see what I'm saying? And
Kind of
so,
like the Interstellar, right? Like Interstellar.
oh, there we go. Yeah. Very
Right.
like
Yeah.
Interstellar. Exactly. That's, yeah, exactly. Well,
Right.
different. The dimension is time there, right? And
Right. Right.
so,
Right.
but yeah, that's yeah. Essentially,
Yeah.
that could be a thing, right?
Right. Because I mean, so here's another story, right? And again, this could just be like logically, like I can look at things logically and be like, it could just be this,
Hmm.
but there's the other part of my brain where it wanders and it's like, well, shit, like maybe it's something else. Like I don't rule it out, right?
Right.
Um, so like maybe 5 years ago, like 7 years ago, or whatever, we were looking to buy this house, right? And we were looking and looking, and then me and Amy, we went to this spot, um, and we looked in, we checked it out, and we're like, oh, this is a nice place, blah blah. And then she had put her purse. I think she was pregnant at the time. Yeah, with our
Okay.
first child. So this happened before what happened with my timeline
Oh,
is correct, this happened before um the cemetery thing.
right. Okay.
So anyway, she put her heavy purse on the kitchen counter. From what I remember and what she remembers, it wasn't like it was on the very edge, like tipped over, about to fall, nothing like that. It was just plopped on a flat surface. So as we were there, we were talking, whatever, and looking at the space, um and it fell over, like just like someone knocked it over. And we looked and we're like, logically, I'm like, maybe it was close to the edge. Even though I knew it wasn't that close to the edge, I was like, shit, maybe something in the purse kind of rolled over and it fell. And she's like, nah, that shit fell over by itself. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'm like, yeah, I hear you, but I'm not gonna just succumb to that thought.
Of
So
course.
she ends up leaving, and I'm like, closing up everything because the agent was like, hey, make sure you close the doors and all that stuff, and then lock up. They were already outside. So I go through this one door. I'm like, oh, this one bedroom door, the door was closed. Let me close it again because just to leave it as it was. So I pull the door and I close it, and I walk over down the hall, kind of similar to your story. I walk down the hall, and I'm like looking to make sure like we didn't leave anything. And then fucking sure enough, that shit fucking opens, right? And I was like, there's nothing in this room. So there isn't like, oh, maybe something was, next to it. And again, I heard the click, all that shit. I saw that and I was like, no, I don't need to go back over there. I'm good. And I just fucking walked. Like, to me, there's no reason for me to even go, and like no one was in jeopardy. Like there wasn't something that I had to protect, right? It was literally just me. And I'm like, everyone is safe outside.
Yeah.
I don't need to go back and then get sucked in some fucking dimension and be lost. Like, he was just right here. What happened? Like my clothes are just fucking on the floor. Like, like this without me. So I was just like, that. There's like two occurrences in the same place, and they come to find out that somebody died there.
Oh, shoot.
So then I was
Oh.
like, okay, we're good. Like, we're okay not taking it. But it was one of those, like, boom, that thing fell. I was like, that's weird, but probably explainable. You there? I was saying connecting now. They fucking took Daniel. Coincidence? He didn't want to believe. And he's gone now. They fucking took him. So it's just my podcast now. Again, I'm trying to tell him that this is real. And he's trying to debunk fucking ghosts and shit. And look, they want no part of it. I'm S.A.G.A Emcee. This has been the show no one asked for, episode 4. I'll catch you, maybe Daniel, on the next one. Peace.